Hello you guys. So today we'll be discussing about an important term in statistics which is called a variable. Alright, so I'll just give you a brief of what variable is and then what are the different types of variable, and I'll just show you quite of an example of the different types of variable. Cool. So a variable is nothing but, you can define or you can say a variable is a value that can change. All right, any value, it can be x, y, z, whatever. A value that can change is known as a variable, and this change depending on certain conditions. This is what a variable is. A variable is nothing but any value that can change depending on certain conditions. And over here, usually these conditions are subject to either time or place. Yes. So in statistics, the quantitative or the measurable characteristics which can assume any numerical value, and that value is known as a variable. Fine, it can be your marks, your salary, your age, etc. Whatever it is, anything that has a value and that can change depending on certain conditions, and these conditions usually are under different time or place, is called a variable. Alright, so this variable is divided into two: discrete variable, and then there is continuous variable. So this discrete variable is nothing but, as the word itself says, discrete means distinct. Any variable that has a distinct value or a separate value is known as a discrete variable, whereas a continuous variable is nothing but a variable with any value in interval. Any value, it can be any infinite, it could be infinite or continuous, whatever it is. So that is what continuous variable is. Usually these variables are represented by letters like x, y, z, etc. These are the ways in which you represent your variables. So I'll just give you an example of what a discrete and a continuous variable is for your easier understanding. For example, I am just taking a variable x, which gives me the sides of a coin. Alright, so the sides of a coin, and the value will be either heads or tails. Alright, so this particular type of variable is a discrete variable because it has a distinct value, it has a separate value, and you have exactly the type of value that you're looking for. It can be either heads or tails. Alright, next I'll give you another example. Y is equal to, you are supposed to measure the exact weight of animals in your city zoo. Alright, so this y variable is asking you to measure the exact weight of animals in your city zoo. So what here is, this is a type of continuous variable. Why? Because if you are in a zoo, over here or Kochi or in Mysore or whatever, so over there you might be having the information regarding the weight of your animals. There can be an ant or a cat, a tiger, an elephant, etc. So usually, logically, when you think of it, your weight will be from 0 to the highest of an animal would be an elephant, maybe a 3000 kilograms. Yes, so your value will be in between 0 to 3000 kilograms. Okay, so say for example you got a tiger and then you are measuring the weight of a tiger and then you got it somewhere around 100.5 kilogram. Yes, so you can say you can always say that this 100.5 is a exact amount and it could be a discrete variable. Why it is called a continuous variable? Because this 100.5, when somebody asks you your exact weight of animal, it could be 100.5, 6, 8, 3, 2, 1, and it goes on, right? So there is this difference of the value of your variable. So such kind of value is known as a continuous variable. All right, I'll give you another example. X is equal to find the year a student was born in your class. Okay, so is this a continuous variable or a discrete variable? Finding the year of a student who was born in your class. So this kind of data, this kind of X variable is known as a discrete variable. Why? Because you can actually exactly know what year a student is born. Yes, it could be 2000, 1995 or 1965, whatever it is. Okay, so there is this distinct characteristics in that variable. I'll give you another example to make it even more clear. Y is equal to, you are supposed to find out the exact time a man finishes 100 meters race. So this one is a continuous variable. This kind of value generated from the findings is a continuous variable, because as you can see, I have already told you that this time factor can be very vague. If they say it's 5 minutes and 6 seconds, it could be 5.61723885. These kind of infinite value is regarded as a continuous variable. If this is a tricky question, if I've asked that give me the exact time a man finishes a 100-meter race and round it to the nearest 100th digit. So in this case, this whole thing becomes a discrete variable, because you know exactly how much of the amount of value of the variable you are supposed to look, and over here it says find out the nearest 100 digit of your time. So you can go as it as 5.678 and that's it. This will be your discrete variable. So I hope that you understood the basics of what a variable is, what are the different types of variables, and then the examples of how you differentiated between a discrete variable and a continuous variable. Okay.